Nothing like a little Stoke coffee to start the day off. We had a football game last night. Week 3 of the NFL officially kicked off Thursday Night Football. We had the Carolina Panthers taking out the Houston Texans 24-9. Houston Texans, I'll just start off with them because this is going to be mainly about the Carolina Panthers because they're one of my new favorite teams. So let's talk about the Texans first. They came out, and I don't think anyone really expected them to be 1-1 coming into this game. They had Tyrod Taylor manning the helm up until this point. He got hurt. What did Tyrod do? I think he might have cracked ribs or something like that. So he's out. Davis Mills, rookie, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Seems like Davis Mills was at Stanford for 10 years. Seems like he was the guy that took over for Andrew Luck when he left. But Davis Mills comes in, rookie, not one of the higher tier rookies, mid-round, 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick. Does decently. I'll give him credit. He had his moments. Sometimes the ball looked like it took forever to get to where it was going. Then there were other times where it looked like he had a little juice on his passes. The Texans, they're just undermanned. Their running back is Mark Ingram, who had a great career, but he's 30. He's definitely at the back end. David Johnson also. Brandon Cooks is their best receiver, and he still did his thing yesterday, but outside of Brandon Cooks, they really don't have anyone. They ended up, they couldn't really get much going offensively. Their best drive was before half when they scored a touchdown. Other than that, Carolina's defense was just too much for them to overcome. Enough about the Texans. Let's talk about the Panthers. The big news of the game for the Carolina Panthers is that Christian McCaffrey, run CMC, came up limp after a run. You could see it. He pulled his hamstring, did something with his hamstring. Looks like it's going to be a pull. I was listening to the other talking heads this morning saying, it could be wear and tear. Listen, a hamstring pull is not wear and tear. He pulled his hamstring because he's just more explosive than most human beings, and his hamstring just couldn't handle what he was asking his body to do. Don't know the exact diagnosis of it. With a hamstring, it's something that you don't want to rush back from. I wouldn't be surprised if McCaffrey's out for, a month, to be honest with you, a month or longer. Offense stifled a little bit when he initially went out because, again, despite what you want to say, they do have a lot of good pieces there. Christian McCaffrey is the main focal point of that offense. Obviously, he runs the ball. He's their main runner of the football, but he's also one of their main receivers out of the backfield. And they'll split him out. They'll do a bunch of different creative things because he's just a playmaker. He's a mismatch for anyone. He's a nightmare to match up with. So he's gone. Offense stifles. I get home from doing my baseball coaching duties, so I catch the second half. I did go back and watch some highlights of the first half, but I catch the second half of this game. And boy, oh boy, Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold, if you watch a game, Sam Darnold with New York, you watch a game, Sam Darnold with Carolina, looks like a different guy. Some of the things that I'll point out about Sam Darnold. His ability to manipulate the pocket is way better than I ever thought. Maybe because in New York he just never got a pocket because their offensive line was atrocious. But his ability to manipulate the pocket is fantastic. He can subtle movements to climb the pocket. Athletically, he's way better of an athlete than people give him credit for. Albeit, last year with New York, I think he ran... he had like a 60-yard touchdown run. He's an athlete. He can get out and he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not gonna do Lamar Jackson things to you. He's not gonna juke you out like Kyler Murray. But kid can run. 24 years old, by the way. Still been in the league. This is his 4th year. Only 24 years old. Man, he could throw from different arm slots. There are a couple of times where he just got it. He's side arming it. He could throw on the run. And the big thing that I saw from him that you did not see in the statistics will back me up, his accuracy he's super accurate when he has time and he can set his feet, and he actually has receivers that can run routes and kind of get open. He put some balls in that were just like perfectly placed, just on the other side of an outstretched arm. His accuracy was top notch, but it's not just that. It's not constant fastballs because he has a good arm. He has an above average arm. That ball gets there and it's tight. The spiral is tight. But it's not just fastballs. Like, he'll layer it over linebackers. He showed that last night. There was one pass in the third or fourth quarter, the one to DJ Moore. That one probably needed a little, just like a slight bit of air. He pretty much threw a 40-yard frozen rope to DJ Moore because he saw the safety coming, and there was a guy underneath DJ Moore, so he thought he had to throw a fastball, a little bit of air, and that's probably a touchdown for DJ Moore. He did. Sam Darnold did end up running 2 in. Didn't throw any in, but man, he threw for over 300 yards, completed over 70% of his passes. For the season, he's at 68. The best season he had with the Jets, he was at 60. So his career with the Jets was right around 58, 59, 60. Those were his completion percentages. And again, probably lack of offensive line and lack of receivers that could get open. But Sam Darnold looks good. And again, when McCaffrey first went out, the offense stifled a little bit. But the second half, man, I think they were constantly moving. And Chuba Hubbard, I thought as the game went along and he started getting more and more carries, I thought he started to kind of get comfortable and hit some holes and get some good runs. And then another rookie who I didn't think anyone was talking about prior to today, prior to last night's game, and hell, I wasn't either, but Tommy Tremble from Notre Dame, tight end, rookie, they literally ran an end around, like a jet sweep for Tommy Tremble to run a touchdown in. So that shows you what kind of athlete that guy is, that you're literally going to run an end around to hand the ball off to him to run for a touchdown, like a 10-yard touchdown. So, and he made some nice catches as well. So offensively, you lose McCaffrey. Now some guys like Chuba Hubbard are going to get an opportunity to step up. You're going to have to mix in guys like Tommy Tremble. DJ Moore had another great game, like 8 catches, 130 yards. Again, didn't find the end zone. You still have Robbie Anderson. Dan Arnold caught a couple passes. Their offense is good, man. Really, really good. I think it's going to get even more creative now with CMC out for a couple games minimum. I'm going to say probably closer to a month. Hamstring. Again, one of those injuries that you don't want to let linger. You rush back too early, it's just going to keep happening. You're not going to be right. And Christian McCaffrey is the type of athlete where, again, you want to be right, so you don't want that hamstring lingering, because if he comes back too soon and that hamstring's still an issue, he's just not going to look the same, and it's going to be very noticeable. I do think Chuba Hubbard can handle it for now. He's not going to be Christian McCaffrey. Let's be honest, Christian McCaffrey is a unicorn right now in terms of his receiving ability and his ability to run the ball. I mean, he can get out wide, he can run by people, he can lower his shoulder into people. Like, Christian McCaffrey does it all. Again, maybe that's why his body's starting to break down a little bit. But, I mean, you're not going to replace him. But you can you got Chuba, you got Royce Freeman. I think they can do a decent job of holding their own until Christian McCaffrey gets back. I'm excited to see how they integrate Tommy Tremble more. DJ Moore's a stud. Robbie Anderson is still a stud. I'm going to use that term lightly. Like, I just think he didn't get a shot in New York, almost like Sam Darnold. He's not the main guy. DJ Moore's the main guy here. Like their offense. The one thing I will say, I'll give 2 points here. Sam Darnold, the one thing. Big Sam Darnold guy. The one thing that scares me about him, and it was an issue in New York, and it reared its ugly head yesterday, he didn't turn the ball over in the form of interceptions. He's doing a great job of that this year, but he fumbled twice. He's got 4 fumbles in 3 games. That was a big issue in New York, almost like Daniel Jones right now with the Giants. But he needs to wrangle that. And again, I talked about his ability to manipulate the pocket. He climbs the pocket, and that ball is just very unguarded. So again, if you watch some of the greats, when they're moving through the pocket, like they're very aware of that football because they know guys are going to swat at it trying to knock it through if they can't tackle you, if they can't get you, if they can't wrap you up. They're going to chop at the ball, try to knock it out of your hands. And that happened to Darnold twice yesterday. So he needs to clean that up for sure. And again, yes, you could say the Panthers, their defense looks really good. They haven't really played anyone we think. They started the year off with rookie Zach Wilson. They played rookie Davis Mills. And in between that, sandwich in between that, they played Jameis and the Saints that we're just not sure about right now because obviously the Saints throttled my Packers week 1 and then laid an egg last week. So we're not really sure what the Panthers are. But hell, if the Panthers come out and score 30-some against whoever they're playing this week, maybe that's an attribute. Maybe the Carolina Panthers are that damn good. I believe they're that damn good. But they will get a test next week because next week they got to play a high-powered offense in the Dallas Cowboys. But it's also going to be an opportunity for the offense to show some things against that poor-ass Cowboys defense. So I think that could be a shootout. But again, we're going to see. They have to go up against Dak Prescott next week. Obviously, that receiving core, I'm not sure where Gallup stands for the Cowboys, but I mean, it's going to be a long night trying to cover Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and potentially Michael Gallup if he's there, and Zeke and Pollard and all the offensive weapons that they have there, especially without, that was a big injury, so they lose J.C. Horn, their first-round pick from this year, broke his foot, so he's going to be out for quite a bit. If it's Liz Frank, maybe even longer, might be a 3-month ordeal. But so we're going to see. We're going to find out about this defense come next week when they play the Cowboys. And again, I think the offense needs to continue to take a step forward. Sam Darnold's not putting the ball in harm's way unless, except for fumbles. But when he's throwing it, he's making great decisions. Love seeing it. So glad he's getting the opportunity here in Carolina with a team that's competent, a decent offensive line, good weapons, and not a dumpster fire New York Jets. And a good coach, a good coach like Matt Rule and Joe Brady, and not Adam Gase, who someone in my last video commented to let me know that Adam Gase is currently a coach at a high school. And his offense probably stinks there too because Adam Gase is terrible. Don't know how he ever got a coaching job to coach football, offensive football, because he's terrible. It's my rant on that. Appreciate you watching. Panthers, again, look good. Subscribe. Hit the like. I would appreciate that. That would be big for me. Maybe watch another video. I'll see you in the next one, peeps.